Hi, my name is Jeacocke, and I wanted to make this video in light of the unfolding events of what happened to one man. But ultimately, there are many stories that do not get into the news that have such similar tragedy unfolding. So I'm going to read it rather than speak it. So hopefully I haven't made any mistakes. I have taken some assumptions. Ultimately, for me the Bible is true about what it knows about humanity and the world and God. If you do not like my assumptions, then please glance your reasoning faculty onto how doctors diagnose you as a patient. They have to take a course of thinking that their assumptions about what they observe is true before they take any decisions. For this is the only way to proceed with you. They have no magic ball. Jesus said, "You will always have poor people." And if you think this is out of context, and I'm sure many Christians and non-Christians will say this, then ask this if this can be true. You will always have unbelievers of Jesus with you. What are the consequences of this? Poor people will always exist until people learn what love is. And even then, are you loving 24/7? So, no, poor people will always be present. People can help people, but like the cold, you won't eradicate it. Do tears stop before the return of Jesus and God's renewal? No. In Revelation chapter 21, verse 4, it reads, "He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and there will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain, for the former things have passed away." Surely then, if we cannot help poor people to the same extent that we cannot eradicate the common cold, racism will never go away either. Because poverty and racism is prevented by love. We cannot look up a dictionary to find the definition of love because it is incomplete. There is something lacking. Regrettably, some people do not want love, or more importantly, to share love, for it takes away time from their own life. I am guilty of this. Are you? Do you want love that is turned into compassion for others, or do you want alcohol? Do you want love that is turned into compassion for others, or do you enjoy selfish, casual sex? Do you want love that is turned into compassion for others, or do you enjoy smoking? Do you want love that is turned into compassion for others, or be constantly at work for wealthy gain? Do you want love that is turned into compassion for others, or be a Scrooge type person? The list goes on. Energy that should be diverted to love then cannot be turned into active help, is consumed by things that are not beneficial to others. We should never deceive ourselves that we can stop things. In the Gospel of Luke, Jesus was asked a question, but Jesus commented on the form of address the questioner had taken with him. In Luke 18, verses 18 to 19, "Then a certain ruler asked him, 'Good teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life?' "Why do you call me good?" Jesus replied. "No one is good except God alone." Jesus did not change things because Jesus was Jesus, but because he knew God and who he was. We can only help people by using the right motives. This is where, for me, I think the confusion begins. Some think by helping blindly for the sake of kindness, you get people to see what change is possible. This is a great evil and deception to each and every one of us. Let's look at the world, shall we? Generations change. Economies change. Things get torn down in one generation, but later reappear in another. Just read the history of the Israelite nation, a reflection of all nations. People do not accept truth. There is even racism revealed in the book of Song of Solomon. Ironically, non-believers mocked how the Western Christian world had a white Jesus. Funnily, the line in the above book, in Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 6, it states, "Do not stare because I am dark, for the sun has gazed upon me," shows the ignorance of many hearts. Within the Israelite nation, people of colour judged other colours. We are all racists. We do not accept truth. So we will never learn. Or can we? We must learn to stop with our self-righteousness, that we can stop it by helping by our own efforts. You cannot get to heaven by our own efforts, and neither can we get to an earthly heaven where no racism or poverty is, for it takes God to change people to be compassionate. But to persist in compassion, you need faith, for in marriage with Jesus we have two options. One, to trust and be faithful to him and God. Two, to divorce from him and with it shatter our current world of healing. We did not have compassion, or rather love. We were told about love through God. Shalom.